Red Solo cup, I fill you up. Let's have a party. Hey guys, Christina Ricci. I'm at the beach. I'm the only one out here. It is amazing, beautiful, amazing out here. And today, I'm playing in the sand. And I brought my sand wedge and some balls. And I'm gonna work on my bunker game. What better place to work on your bunker game than right here at the beach? Look how much sand we have. I even brought a rake. So we are gonna have a lot of fun. I am gonna cover everything that you need to know in the bunker, a couple great drills to help you with better contact, because it's all about consistent sand contact in the bunker, and help you overcome anxiety. A lot of players have anxiety in the bunker. I would say the bunker creates the most anxiety out of any other shot. All right, so my goal is to bring you back to the beach like you were when you were a child and you were just having fun, just like Seve did. All right, so what you're gonna need for this practice session is pail and shovel, preferably with a rake, a couple tees, a piece of cardboard, some balls, and your sand wedge. Let's get to it. Oh, and bring a ham sandwich just in case and a lot of water. And if you can, just go ahead and grab some sand, maybe your winter sand, if you're one that has winter, and use that. All right, you can even use fluffy grass, it's fine. All right, you can use a tee, just tee it up instead of a ball. Plus, I'm gonna show you various lies. Uphill, downhill, firm sand, soft sand. You ready? And let's get to it. Look what I just found in the sand. Oh my God, this is adorable. Look how cute this is. What does this remind you of? Red Solo cup, I fill you up. Let's have a party. Let's have a party. Oh my gosh, this is so cute. This is like mini me. We gotta use this in the tip. I gotta figure that one out. That is so cute.
If I was you, I'd keep this mistake to yourself.
So why do players really struggle from the bunker? And there are a couple reasons. The first one is a lot of players have excessive movement in the bunker. So their lower body, upper body is trying to help the ball in the air. So whether you're going forward and getting real steep, or you're trying to help the ball in the air this way. I see that one a lot, right? Where players are actually trying to help the ball. Instead, they scull it. All right, so that's probably why you're sculling it, because you're swinging up on it. All right, instead, we need to swing down and through. But if you get too steep, all right, then you're gonna chunk it. So that's the second reason why players miss, all right? They get too steep. All right, so they get real steep and they chop down on it because they were told they need to get steep. Believe it or not, we want this club to come in shallow, all right? We want to skim the surface of the sand. We don't want to get steep. We want to skim it. And we skim it by opening up the club face. The club face, when open, exposes the bounce of the club. So this is what skims through the sand.
The reason because we must have the club face open is because you will get a better release throughout the sand.
All right, pop quiz question. Who's the one that developed the sand wedge? The first 3 comments that are correct get a prize.
Hallelujah, hallelujah,
Good luck.
hallelujah.
So I'm just going to give you the broad sketch of the essentials when you're in the bunker. And this is for your standard bunker shot. What you're going to do is you're going to get wide. Right? Because remember what I said earlier, where players go off, is they're too narrow and they're swinging it like a normal shot. Well, in the bunker, just like on the putting green, we got to get real stable. All right, so we want our lower body rock solid. All right, and to do that, we're going to get low and wide. Okay, we're going to get the handle low and wide because that's going to increase the loft of the club. It's going to help you expose the bounce. All right, if we get too tall, all right, sometimes we get too square with the club face. All right, we have too much movement going through. So when we get low, the handle low, it helps to set the club face properly. All right, so that's number one.
Then the reason because we do this in the bunker is because we're looking for a solid stance. Because in the bunker it's very important to stay still.
Number two is ball position. I see a lot of players playing the ball too far back. Okay, so you're going to play the ball in a 3-wood position. All right, so the center of my stance is right here. Red Solo Cup, I fill you up. Let's have a party. All right, here's our ball position in relation to our stance. Get nice and wide. 3-wood position. All right, so you're going to essentially enter the sand right here. Okay, and that sand is going to propel the ball out.
I am going to draw a line about 1.5 inches behind the ball. This is how much you have to hit behind. Of course, drawing the line is not correct because in the tournament it will cost you 2 shots penalty, but for practice it's a good recommendation.
All right, I want you to visualize hitting the heel of the club into the sand. All right, why? Because that is an open club face. All right, a lot of players come in like this, square, where the grooves are pointing at the ball. All right, so you'll most likely dig. So by focusing on entering the sand with your heel, like Seve did, you'll have an open face and expose the bounce. Now as you make your backswing, you're going to feel like you're turning this club so it's more of a shallow versus taking the club up this way. I'll turn this way. So I want you to feel like you're going more around your body. All right, if you have a tendency to dig, I want you to feel more around. All right, so you're going to turn your torso so the shaft is parallel to your foot line, the ball, the midfoot of your feet, and then you're going to complete your turn. You really only need to go to 9 o'clock with your hands. Noon, 9, 3. Okay, 9 o'clock. All right, just make sure your back is fully facing the target and you're creating an L with the lead arm and shaft.
Also, everything is aiming to the left or square because in the bunker you don't need to turn like you do in the normal shots, but you have to release everything to the left, right?
And that will help you significantly with a stable lower body, open club face, slightly open stance. If I had to throw one more tip in, open the club face first. All right, so the grooves, and I'll show you this from another angle. The grooves are facing the sky. Open the club face first, then take your grip. All right, I see a lot of players have it square and then just turn their hands. All right, that's incorrect. Get low, play the ball in a 3-wood position, make a nice shallow turn, meaning the plane. I have a little bit more weight on my front side. If the sand is super fluffy, just go ahead and play 50-50. Awesome. All right, so my arms and shoulders and hands are super soft. All right, super soft. And I just let gravity drop the club down into the sand as I rotate through. And I'm still in my sit. So we call this a sit. I learned this from Mr. James Seekman.
So a little laid off, quiet lower half, back and front, thrown that way. Okay?
I feel like I'm gonna...
Yeah, you might skull it, you might shank
like that,
it,
right?
but it's my fault. Exactly, so you just gotta stay into your sit, okay? Yep, a little laid off, back and front, thrown. Now all of a sudden we got a much better sound and a shallower delivery, didn't we?
All right, so we're gonna go ahead and use this little red Solo cup to make sure we don't get steep. All right, so you can place anything there. Plastic cup is great, okay? Because the players that get steep will hit the cup, all right? Because you're coming too steeply up in your backswing. All right, so you're gonna come in shallow versus steep. If you came in steep, you'd hit the cup. So if you feel like you're shallow, but you're still digging, let's make sure that you're making a big enough turn. So I want you to make a turn, all right, so your back is fully facing the target, but I only want your hands to go here. All right, where players really go off in the bunker is they think they're gonna make a big backswing and they get really high with their hands, and it's just not needed. The key with success in the bunker is a consistent entry point. You only need to go to here, but your back has to be facing the target, all right? Otherwise, if it's here and you start rotating, you're going to be steep. So make a full turn, hands at 9 o'clock. When you're practicing, make sure you rake. See, a lot of players have like a hole because they've been practicing so much and they're hitting the ball out of here. All right, so go ahead and rake up after you're done. Create a nice clean slate. All right, the other thing you can do if you are still digging is to take a piece of cardboard, all right, and go ahead and put it in the sand and put the sand on top of it. You can't dig with this, all right, so this helps you feel the skimming factor with a bunker shot. All right, so when you do play it off of here, this is just a drill, all right, the ball won't go as far. All right, so a great way to get comfortable in the bunker is just to tee up a tee. All right, so put the ball aside right now, and let's just get you comfortable striking the sand. All right, so this is just a fun way to do it. So you're gonna get into your great setup, low sit, low handle. You're gonna enter the sand right here, and you're gonna feel like you're coming right under the tee. So come right under the tee. All right, and the tee should go flying. Here's a very important tip. If you're gonna practice this at the beach, do not take beige. I only have one tee, and I almost lost it. All right, so if your balls are just going 2 feet or you're blading it, make sure you're getting to a finish. I see a lot of players chop and stop, all right? And the back shoulder never gets through. It's the sand that gets the ball out, so we need speed. And the only way to get it is to fully rotate through. All right, so make sure you stay low, stay in your sit, and get through the shot. Your upper body, if I cut myself in half, is turning completely. Think of Amityville Horror. Remember when she did the 360 with her head? Same deal, you're gonna feel like you get all the way over, all right, with your upper body. All right, see? All right, so you can see I'm all the way through. My belt line, belly button is left of the target. I'm still on my sit. The ball came up high and landed soft. All right, the other important factor, critical factor, is the tempo. I see a lot of players getting real fast with their backswing, and that's gonna promote steep as well. So instead, I really want you to cut your backswing tempo in half, all right? So you can stay relaxed, all right? Because when we go really fast, we tense up. You naturally grip tighter at the top. But if you go nice and slow, your grip pressure can remain constant, and then you can drop the club behind with ease. Now when you drop and rotate through, you need to add a little speed. All right, so you need to almost, Gary Player, this is a Gary Player trip. You gotta light the match at the bottom. So yes, I want you slow in the transition, but as you strike the sand, I want you to light the match. When you get down to the bottom into the sand, is you have to light the match. All right, you gotta light the match, because if you slow down, you're gonna be in trouble. So that one was good. All right, the divot was good. It wasn't too deep. I'll show it to you. All right, and you can see how much sand I took. And the divot is pointing pretty much down the target line. All right, where players go off, goes that way. All right, so it gets real deep and pointing way left of the target.
Right hand, it has to be open. That way. Don't close the right hand, because what happens is that if you do that, you will rotate the club. That means you will close the club face and you will get overspin. So make sure that throughout the swing, the secret is to keep open the club face all the time. And you can do that only with the right hand under. And then you release a little bit, but under, always under.
All right, so we're gonna come right under the red solo cup. I fill you up. Give me another. All right, so if you have a tendency to be steep, use your water bottle, grab your tee. So you can actually do this in the backyard. All right, if you don't have access to a beach. Go ahead and place the tee a few inches in front of the water bottle. So if you're one that's steep, you're gonna hit the water bottle. All right, I actually just like the red solo cup, but this is a nice tall visual. So we wanna be more shallow, like that. All right, so when the sand is a little firm and your ball's actually sitting in a little divot, right, you gotta square up. Get a little narrower with your stance. If the ball is above your feet like it is here, you're gonna choke up, all right, because the ball is closer to you. So choke up, square up with your club face, get a little bit more wind in your front side. All right, and what you're gonna do is you're gonna hinge this club up and drop it right down into the sand, and you want the ball to pop out. All right, you're only looking for this to pop out. All right, so have nice smooth tempo, watch your grip pressure, make sure it's constant. So a lot of players will get super tight with their grip and take too much sand and the ball will go 2 feet. All right, so that's just a helpful tip. Your grip pressure is really important. Really important. I want you to feel nice and relaxed as you take this backswing. Just hinge it up and then you're gonna drop this straight down. A little more weight on your front side, a little bit more narrow stance. You're gonna be a little steeper with your attack. That was probably a little too steep. All right, so there's my fried egg. Ball position is the same. You can play it a smidgen back. Make sure your club face is clean. That was much better. So unfortunately, for the players that don't rake, right, and you find your ball in a footprint, there's nothing you can do. All right, you're just gonna have to pop it out with that same setup. You really gotta go down after it and just pop it out. That's all you're gonna do. All right, and you may even wanna consider even a pitching wedge or a 9-iron. Square up the face. Really just drop the club right down behind the ball, more weight on your front side. Ball a little further back. All right, and just get the ball out. Where's my ball? Where's my ball? There it is. Now I gotta go get get the balls. And I'll tell you what, with all these seashells, it's really hard to find your ball. And I'm gonna recommend while you're out here to just enjoy the beach. Remember when we were little and we went to the beach? I love the beach. Every summer we'd come to the beach. As we get older, we forget about having fun. All right, so bring a pail and shovel, for real. Come to the beach and practice your bunker. So I'd say one of the hardest bunker shots, in my opinion, is the super steep, fluffy sand uphill lie. All right, so I want you to get shallow with the shot. All right, if you try to get level with your shoulders, you're just gonna dig into the hill. So you gotta angle your shoulders, and I almost want you to feel like you're gonna skim the ball off this super steep surface with fluffy, a lot of sand. Bang. All right, so when you have a ball and a lip, right, you just want to get it out. All right, so here's the lip's edge and your ball's right on the lip. I recommend a pitching wedge or a 9-iron. I have my 58, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna square this up. You're gonna have more weight on your front side, you're gonna get level. All right, and then you're gonna go ahead and hinge and send this club into the back of the ball. All right, I am gonna try to get a little bit more level versus hanging back, all right, because if you hang back, the ball's probably just gonna roll back that way. All right, so what you're gonna do is put more weight on the front side, and you're gonna send this club, as you make a backswing, into the hill. All right, and your club's just gonna stay there, and hopefully the ball will pop out. All right, you gotta do this with some force. But again, I want your grip pressure soft. Make a backswing, hinge, drop. Ball's out.
And throughout the swing, do not let your right hand roll over at the impact. Hit the sand behind the ball, aim left of the target, and release throughout the ball. Make sure you have a firm stance and have your hands ahead of the ball and you weight on your left side at the dress. The speed of the club face will control how far the ball goes. And remember, let the sand wedge do the job for which it was designed. You don't have to swing too hard. The loft and the sole of the sand wedge will get the ball out for you.